ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 4.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cool News at 4. Let's get into the headlines. Let's begin. What would make the leadership of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. a slam dunk? Pass the 100 pesos legislated daily minimum wage hike bill under this 19th Congress, according to Senator Juan Mico Zubiri. I think that would make the President Sona or Nana State of the Nation address and his leadership a slam dunk, or if baseball, a home run, if that happens, he said during his interpellation of Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel's counter Sona on Monday. Many million of workers would not only be employed but heavily employed, added Zubiri, who initially sought a 150 pesos daily increase for minimum wage earners. He then calls on Senate President Chis Escudero to press the leadership of the House of Representatives to act on its vision of the measure now pending in the chamber. I think the challenge now is asking our leadership, Senate President Escudero, together with the leadership of the Senate, now to talk to the House, Zubiri said. Let's hope they don't neglect or ignore our request for a legislative daily minimum wage hike, he further said. The wage hike bill was already approved by the Senate in February, but its counterpart has been languishing in the House. The reason for this, according to Zubiri, was some House lawmakers believe 100 pesos was too low. I would like to put on record, we dare them. If they want to pass 200 pesos minimum wage hike, let's do it. We dare them to do it, but not to act on it is a big slap on the face of all our laborers. They are really unfortunate, he said. The senators likewise hit the regional wage boards for doing Filipino workers a disservice by approving the pittance when it comes to raising the minimum pay of workers. He cited the 35 pesos daily wage hike recently approved by the regional tripartite wages and productivity board for the private sector workers in Metro Manila. For Zubiri, the additional 35 pesos was an insult to the minimum wage earners. The additional wages they release are not even enough to cover a kilogram of rice, the senator said. Yes. And we don't consider these living wages, it's too low, the senator said. Vice President Sara Duterte's security team was only reduced, not totally taken out, to augment the current needs of the Philippine National Police, according to a lawmaker who also urged her to refrain from politicizing the issue. Manila 3rd District Representative Joa on Tuesday noted that police officers from Duterte's security office were transferred or reassigned to other areas that, for him, the Vice President should respect. First of all, we should respect the decision of the PNP because they are the ones knowledgeable on where to deploy our police officers. We should always remember that usually our police are facing a shortage of personnel. Security was not totally removed from her, she was said in a press briefing at the Patasang Pambansa complex. It was only reduced so that it could be used for more important agencies or assignments. So not every action should be given malins or color with politics, especially if this was only done in line with their jobs as police officers, he added. Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Gonzalez Jr., who was also present in the briefing, said there were times that lawmakers' security personnel were also pulled out due to more pressing tasks for the PNP. He said such is a reality that government officials must come to grips with. In addition to one Congressman Joel said, we congressmen sometimes only have 2 security personnel assigned. We go around our districts, sometimes our security will be pulled out, but we cannot do anything about this because there would be other things to do, Gonzalez explained. So we have to be understanding of that situation. Though for us, it happens sometimes that we have to attend to something important in far-flung barangays. We have to be there, but there are times that the personnel commanders would recall them, so we can do nothing about that. We have to respect that, he added. On Monday, Duterte released an open letter to PNP Chief General Romel Marbel calling the removal of 75 police security escorts as a clear case of political harassment. Duterte also claimed that Marbel was lying when he said that the withdrawal of her police protection detail was due to the PNP being short-staffed, asserting that the removal of the police officers from her security force happened when she resigned from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s cabinet. According to Duterte, the 75 police officers were removed from her office from her security team last July 23, or day after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s third State of the Nation address. Marbel responded by saying that the officers assigned to Duterte were given another assignment to address personal shortage with the police force. Marbel also said they saw no threat against Duterte, hence the reduction. He, however, clarified that Duterte was not singled out because other retired general security were also recalled. Aside from asking Duterte not to politicize the PNP's move, Chua also speculated that Duterte was only deflecting attention from her criticized trip to Germany, while many parts of the country were ravaged by Typhoon Karina and the strong southwest monsoon. The Office of the Vice President confirmed that Duterte flew to Germany. It admitted that the timing of Duterte's trip was off, but explained it was scheduled before the typhoon. I think there is no politics here, but maybe they are just trying to divert the issue, because remember, she addressed this concern when the issue of her making the trip to Germany in the middle of the typhoon popped out, Chua said. I think they're trying to divert the issue because this should not be glanced from a political lens. The PNP is just doing their job. I hope we respect how they do their job, he added. Chua has previously criticized Duterte's actions. Last July 15, he said the Dutertes should address their alleged links to illegal drugs instead of releasing statements to divert public attention. Chua was referring to Vice President Duterte's decision to skip the SONA last July 22 and appoint herself as its latest survivor. Her controversial remarks came a day after the House Dangerous Drugs panel gave Chinese businessman Michael Yang a contempt citation. Yang is the former economic advisor of Duterte's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte. Chua also pointed out that the Vice President's announcement that her father and brothers, Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte and Davao City 4th District Representative Apollo Duterte will be running for senator in 2025 was made on the same day that that House Committee on Human Rights invited former President Duterte and Senator Ronald De La Rosa to the drug war prompt. More than 77% of learners from elementary, high school, and alternative learning systems levels have so far enrolled for school year 2024 to 2025, data from the Department of Education showed. As of 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June 30, a total of 21,563,642 out of 27,722,835 students enrolled for the current school year, which officially began on Monday in most schools nationwide. The number is still expected to go up until the end of the enrollment period on September 16, the DepEd said. School year 2024 to 2025 will end on May 16, 2025. However, there are still 841 schools from the National Capital Region and Regions 1, 3, 4A, and 12 that postponed their class opening due to the ongoing cleanup and repair activities in the areas. In an interview with reporters on Monday, Education Secretary Sonny Angara said schools that postponed their class opening may conduct Saturday classes to make up for lost school days. It's usually like that. It's necessary to do make-up classes on the weekend when classes on weekdays are suspended, he said in Filipino. The province of Pangasinan recorded an initial 222.5 million pesos in damage to infrastructure and 24.5 million pesos to agriculture due to the effects of the southwest monsoon enhanced by Super Typhoon Karina. Citing reports gathered by the Provincial Risk Reduction and Management Office from local government units as of July 26, Emergency Operations Center Assistant Director Pia Flores said in a phone interview on Tuesday that District 6 registered the highest infrastructure damage at 67 million pesos. It was followed by District 5 with 42 million pesos, District 4 38.5 million pesos, District 3 14.5 million pesos, District 1 20.5 million pesos, and District 2 10 million pesos. Excuse me. Damage on other road dikes along Lingayen, San Carlos, Obispondo amounted to 30 million pesos. They are mostly road dikes and dilapidated concrete and asphalt pavement, Flores said. He estimated partial damage to high-value crops reached 7.2 million pesos, palay at 6 million pesos, and corn at 3.5 million pesos. Partial damage to fisheries reached 5 million pesos, while initial damage to livestock reached 2.8 million pesos, the bulk of which, 2.4 million pesos, is in the municipality of Santo Tomas. Flores said 2 houses were destroyed in Sison and Bani towns, while 6 houses in Binalondon, Bani, Dasol, and Infanta towns were partially wrecked due to strong winds. She said no casualties were reported among the 44,747 families, or 183,608 individuals affected by the weather disturbance. The last evacuees from Bulacan town returned to their homes on Monday, while flooding in Mangandaram has receded. The Pangasinan Provincial Health Office deployed medical teams to Mangandaram and Budista upon the request of LGUs. Medicines have been distributed to the affected families, while the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office provided relief packs. It is now 30 minutes past 4, and koolNews at 4 will be right back. Welcome back. The Food and Drug Administration has the exclusive authority to regulate the health aspects of tobacco products, the Supreme Court said Tuesday. In an en banc ruling dated July 23, the Supreme Court denied the motion for reconsideration filed by the Philippine Tobacco Institute Incorporated, which asserted that the Interagency Committee Tobacco has long jurisdiction over tobacco products, including its health aspect. The High Court's decision also aligns with Republic Act Number 9711, also known as the FDA Act, which states that the FDA has regulatory authority over all health products. The law's implementing rules further state that the Department of Health is mandated to regulate tobacco products through the FDA. However, the PTI challenged this, arguing that IAC Tobacco has the regulatory authority over tobacco products. The regional trial court ruled in favor of PTI, but the Supreme Court reversed it in 2021 decision, reaffirming the FDA's rule in the regulation of tobacco products. Eventually, the PTI and Alba Representative Sal Lachman filed separate motions for reconsideration before the High Court. Lachman made his move as a respondent interventor. The Supreme Court, in its July 23 ruling, said IAC Tobacco does not have sole and exclusive jurisdiction over tobacco products and the tobacco industry. In the statement, the Supreme Court stressed all products affecting health, including tobacco products, are covered by the FDA's mandate to ensure the safety, efficiency, purity, and quality of health products. Thus, the inclusion of tobacco products in the implementing rules of the FDA Act is in accordance with the law, it added. The Supreme Court decision affirming the FDA's regulatory authority over the health aspects of tobacco products was an apparent nod to calls of various experts to transfer the regulatory jurisdiction of vape and other tobacco products to the FDA. In a Pfeiffer message sent to reporters, DOH Undersecretary Albert Domingo said they welcomed the Supreme Court ruling. We see this decision by the Supreme Court as a trump of justice in favor of health for our people. We thank the wise justice of the Supreme Court for this landmark decision, he said. Northern Samar eyes to become the prime diving destination in eastern Visayas with its expansive seas, coastal wonders, and rich marine biodiversity. Jehan Allen Bourbon, head of the Provincial Economic Development and Investment Promotion Office, said the local government hosted a 3-day free diving certification course in partnership with Tukat Free Diving that ended Monday. It aimed to establish a community of free divers who enhance the tourism experience by offering diving tours and knowledge on the underwater treasures of Northern Samar, Bourbon said in a phone interview Tuesday. The workshop, the first in the region, taught divers the fundamentals of breath holding techniques, safety protocols, and the science behind optimal free diving performance and introduced them to open water free diving. Aside from promising coastline attractions featuring rock formations, maritime forests, coves, and games of fine sand, Bourbon said divers could also take relish in the wonders beneath the Northern Samar waters, where vibrant corals and abundance of fish and other marine species can be found. The pristine waters and vibrant marine life in places such as Mapanas and La Velares offer a great deal of water adventure, ideal for free divers and free diving enthusiasts, Bourbon added. Located on the third largest island in the Philippines and surrounded by the San Bernardino Strait, the Samar Sea, and the Pacific Ocean, Northern Samar is home to 24 towns, 20 of which are coastal areas, including tourists' favorite islands Biri, Capo, San Antonio, and San Vicente. There is no fishing ban in adjacent waters, still unaffected by the oil spill in Manila Bay, according to the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. In a statement on Monday, the BFAR said it has not issued a fishing ban and the agency has conducted sensory analysis from fish samples to ensure that they have no traces of oil. Fish samples from Bataan tested today, July 29, for case, cooked fish, raw order, and cooked order all passed the sensory analysis, BFAR said. Succeeding tests with third-party laboratories for the presence of oil and grease and harmful contaminants called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons will also be carried out, it added. Water tanker Terra Nova was carrying 1.4 million liters of industrial fuel when it capsized and eventually submerged in waters of Bataan province last July 25, the Philippine Coast Guard said. The PCG earlier reported that the oil from empty Terra Nova spread about 12 to 14 kilometers across Manila Bay and may affect parts of Bataan and Cavite. Based on the agency's aero monitoring on Monday morning, the oil spill's extent lessened to 3.7 to 7.4 kilometers. On Tuesday, PCG spokesperson Rear Admiral Amran Balido said fishing in Manila Bay is unsafe due to the oil spill. The BFAR has assured the public that it is coordinating with other government agencies to mitigate the potential impacts of the oil spill on marine biodiversity, livelihood, and public health. Fisherfolk are urged to promptly report any oil slick sighting, avoid contaminated areas, use personal protective equipment when necessary, immediately harvest shellfish or fish in the surrounding area, and prevent further contamination by maintaining proper waste disposal and regular boat maintenance, and others. Committee hearings of high significance will continue despite the looming 2025 budget deliberations at the House of Representatives. Majority Leader Manuel Jose Delipe said on Tuesday. In the press briefing at the Batasan Pambansa complex, Delipe was asked if different committees investigating criminal activity linked to the Philippine offshore gaming operators Pogos and Chinese nationals allegedly tied to illegal drugs would wrap up their hearings during the budget season. Delipe said the House previously suspended committee hearings to focus on the budget deliberations, but for this year, the leadership agreed with committee chairpersons regarding the need to hold simultaneous discussions. Several committee chairmen whose panels are conducting hearings talked to me yesterday, and they were asking for guidance because usually in the previous years, we would hold all other hearings when the budget is presented to us, and we will concentrate on the budget, Delipe relayed. But the chairpersons are appealing to continue hearings because they are already in the process of having very important resource persons, very important information, he added. According to Delipe, Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romeo Aldez has already directed Secretary General Reginald Velasco to find space in the Batasan Pambansa complex where panels can conduct hearings even while the proposed 2025 national budget is being deliberated by the Committee on Appropriations. This space would also be located near the areas where the budget is being discussed so lawmakers can shuttle back and forth between hearings. I told the Secretary General that under the instruction of Speaker Martin Romeo Aldez, if the hearing is of high importance, we will not stop it. So with that directive from the Speaker, we are already instructing the Secretary General to make available the other spaces, especially spaces in the new building that we have in the Batasan Pambansa complex, Delipe said. So what will happen is that we will allocate the other rooms nearer to the plenary hall for budget briefing, and we will also reserve the other new spaces for those committees which have to continue with their investigation, especially those prompting illegal drugs, pogos, and other important issues. So we will now have more or less parallel hearings, he added. As of now, different committees are in the thick of discussing pressing issues. For Committee on Public Order and Safety, hearing on illegal drug operations conducted by police officers in Calabarzon, hearing on crimes linked to pogos, joint hearings with the Committee on Games and Amusements. For Committee on Dangerous Drugs, hearing on the usage of Mexico Pampanga warehouse for drug storage and Chinese nationals linked to the warehouse. For Committee on Human Rights, hearing on alleged extrajudicial killings on the former administration's drug war. Aside from this, there are several issues that lawmakers previously said should be discussed by House panels. Automated election system issue, followed by Sanggip Party List Representative Rondate Marcoleta. Flooding in Metro Manila, followed by Manila 2nd District Representative Rolando Valeriano. Committee on Metro Manila Development and Reclamation Projects in Manila Bay, Makabayan Block. The Libe believes holding simultaneous hearings would not be much of a challenge to House lawmakers because usually someone's wait for hours during budget deliberations before having their turn to ask questions. Instead of waiting idly, the Libe said lawmakers can visit other committees and attend the hearings. I don't see it a challenge because if you observe during the committee on appropriations hearing, due to the extremely long list, there are lawmakers waiting for 3 hours seated not doing anything. So it's a matter of time management. Instead of sitting there for 3 hours complaining about the long list of lawmakers wanting to ask questions, we can do other work with other committees, he said. They can just shuttle back and forth between the committee rooms. So at least the time of our lawmakers is not wasted waiting for their turn to ask things about the budget. Lawmakers sometimes wait for more than 3 hours just to ask questions. So I think we will do time management, and time is a very important resource for us here, he added. The Libe said budget talks are expected to start by the second week of August. The House leadership is for the Committee on Appropriations to already start with the budget briefings, and by next week, without any delay, we will start with the budget briefing of the 2025 National Expenditure Program, he said. So the Committee on Appropriations under Committee Chairman, Alco Pico Party List Representative Zaldi Ko will start the briefing, and we will start it with the Development Budget Coordination Committee, he added. Police anti-narcotics operatives arrested on Monday, July 29, two suspected high-value drug traffickers and seized more than 217,000 pesos worth of shabu in Angono, Rizal Province. In the report on Tuesday, July 30, the Rizal Police said that local drug enforcers captured Inking, age 37, and Maloti, age 34, at 6:49 p.m. after they sold 500 pesos worth of shabu to an undercover cop acting as a drug user in Barangay Mahabang Para. These suspects were caught in alleged possession of 7 plastic sachets containing shabu weighing 32 grams worth about 217,600 pesos in the Dangerous Drugs Board valuation. Authorities also seized a mobile phone that they will check for drug transactions. Police tagged the duo, both residents of Agono, as high-value individuals in the local drug trade. The police are conducting further investigations to determine the source of the illegal drugs. These suspects were detained and are facing complaints for violating the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. The number of tourist arrivals in Negros Oriental for the first half of the year has reached more than 350,000. Records from the Provincial Tourism Office on Monday showed that as of June 30, the province logged 356,245 tourist arrivals, almost triple last year's figure of 122,047. Do Mangquiling Jr., Provincial Tourism Executive Director, attributed the rise in tourist arrivals to the province's aggressive and massive promotions and development of new sites by the provincial government. These include the Viaje de Armor, where new tourist destinations are extensively promoted in the northern part of the province. Also, the Sunday market in Valencia town is getting popular by the day, with food stalls, fresh vegetables and fruits, and plants, among others, sold at the town plaza. The leading foreign tourists are from the United States, China, and France. In addition to local visitors, records also showed no other data are available as yet, as the tourism office is still getting and consolidating reports from hotels and other accommodations in this city. With this new development, Ling believed the province would reach its target of 500,000 tourists by the end of 2024. The influx of tourists could reach 600,000 arrivals. He said the increase in construction activities in this capital city would further boost the economy. As it is right now, it is becoming an emerging destination, and we hope to ensure sustainability, especially in our tourism programs, he added. Ling cited the need for strong partnerships between the government and the private sector to strengthen the tourism industry. Senate President Franciscus Escudero on Tuesday said it is embarrassing that the Philippine National Police has yet to locate suspected Bava Mayor Alice Guo and fugitive televangelist Apollo Cubuloy. In an unpublished interview, Escudero was asked whether or not it's unfortunate and embarrassing that the PNP and the National Bureau of Investigation have yet to find Guo. Is she the only one? Escudero asked. A reporter responded, saying the PNP has yet to locate Cubuloy, who earlier admitted that he had been hiding. That's what I'm saying. Aren't there also others who were accused of more serious crimes and cases that have yet to be nabbed? My answer is yes. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the PNP that they cannot do this, especially since the Bureau of Immigration confirmed that there are still in the country, Escudero said in Filipino. However, the Senate leader explained that it was not a reason to lower the PNP and NBI's budgets. Only more that they won't be able to locate the others. Again, it's not a carrot and stick. You punish them when something goes wrong or when the budget isn't used up. We need to look at all the circumstances surrounding this, he added in Filipino. Escudero, however, made it clear that this will surely be brought up during the budget deliberations. The Senate earlier issued an arrest order against Guo and 7 others for refusing to appear at the Committee on Women's hearing last July 10. The documents stated that Guo's refusal to appear before the Senate panel delayed, impeded, and obstructed the inquiry into the reported human trafficking, serious illegal detention, and physical abuse and torture in the premises of an internet gaming licensee of the Philippine Amusement Gaming Corporation. Guo is subjected to scrutiny after the Senate panel on women bear her alleged ties to a rated Philippine offshore gaming operator, TGON Technology Incorporated in Pabantola. Questions about her citizenship were also raised, leading to allegations that she was a Chinese spy, which she vehemently denied. Cubuloy, on the other hand, is facing 2 arrest orders from the Davao and Pasig courts. The Supreme Court, however, granted the Department of Justice bid to transfer Cubuloy's sexual abuse case from the court in Davao to a court in Quezon City to avoid a miscarriage of justice. The Senate panel on women, headed by Risa Hontiveros, is also seeking Cubuloy's arrest. And the prosecutor from the International Criminal Court can come to the Philippines and interview suspects in the drug war killings during the Duterte administration, Solicitor General Reynaldo Guerrero said on Tuesday. However, he said the Philippine government is not bound legally to assist the ICC. However, the Philippine government cannot stop him from proceeding any way he wants. He can directly interview persons of interest online through phone, by email, face-to-face, subject to the consent of these persons, Guerrero told reporters. But the ICC prosecutor cannot expect that the Philippine government will facilitate it for him, he added. Guerrero explained that the Philippines had already disengaged completely from the ICC since 2019. It has no legal duty to assist the ICC prosecutor in conducting his investigation, he added. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes Fort earlier posted a photo of a document from the ICC's Office of the Prosecutor indicating names of retired and current high-ranking officers who are under suspicion of taking part in former President Rodrigo Duterte's bloody war on drugs. Aside from Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, others named in the ICC document are former Philippine National Police Chief Oscar Abayade, former PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Chief Romel Karamat, Director of PNP's Drug Enforcement Group Eliazar Mata, and National Police Commissioner Edil Berto Leonardo. Okay, it is now 4:40 in the evening, and we will now be heading into international headlines along with entertainment headlines coming up right here on koolNews at 4. So don't go anywhere. koolNews will be right back. Welcome back. Now let's get into the international headlines as the United States has denied orchestrating the capture of Mexican drug cartel leader Ismael El Mayo Zambada, who arrived in Texas on a pirate plane last week, Mexico said Monday. U.S. agents received around 2 hours notice that the Sinaloa cartel co-founder, one of Mexico's most wanted drug traffickers, was on board the aircraft, the Security Minister Rosa Isla Rodriguez said. The information appeared to support the theory that Zambada was betrayed by his partners. The 76-year-old was detained on Thursday after disembarking at an airport near El Paso with Joaquin Guzman Lopez, a son of another cartel co-founder, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. U.S. authorities were informed on several previous occasions that Guzman Lopez was considering surrendering, according to the information received from Washington, Rodriguez said. On Thursday morning, information received by authorities indicated that Guzman Lopez planned to receive on a private flight that day to turn himself in. U.S. media have quoted law enforcement sources as saying that Zambada was unwittingly lured across the border by Guzman Lopez, one of El Chapo's 4 sons. According to a U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration report released in May, these sons were engaged in an internal battle against Zambada, their father's former partner. Mexico has said that it was not involved in the capture of Zambada, who is reportedly in ill health. The United States had offered a $50 million reward for information leading to his arrest. Thousands of furious Venezuelans took to the streets Monday to protest what they called a stolen election, tearing down posters of President Nicolas Maduro as they banging of pots and pans echoed through Caracas. Venezuelans, weary from years of food shortages, dwindling household incomes, and the leftist government criticized as authoritarian, expressed despair after the electoral council Lord Roberto Manguo said he won a 3rd term in Sunday's voting. The opposition, which polls had predicted would win by a landslide, said it took more than 2/3 of the votes in the oil-rich country, whose economic lies in ruins. One opposition march left from the shanty town of Tare and reached the city center under driving rain, only to be met by civil guards who fired tear gas at the demonstrators. "We were robbed last night," an angry Melanie Fisar, aged 22, told AFP, rejecting the official results. The National Electoral Council gave Maduro 51% of the votes against 44% of Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia, the soft-spoken proxy for widely popular opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Courts loyal to Maduro barred Machado from running for president, citing what she and many Venezuelans call bogus corruption charges. Fisher said Gonzalez Urrutia was the real winner of the poll and that she was sick of hardship and living on food handouts from the government. Most civilians live on just a few dollars a month and endure shortages of food and such basics as soap and toilet paper. "I do not want aid. What I want is for Nicolas to leave," Fisher said as demonstrators chanted a rhyming slogan that said just that. The opposition rejected the results announced by the Electoral Council but has not yet called for protest. Monday's arrest, starting with early morning pot banging from windows and balconies, appeared to be spontaneous. Maduro, without giving evidence, denounced what he called an incipient coup. "They are trying out their first failed steps to destabilize Venezuela," he said. "I feel impotent. I went outside and screamed," said one female resident, slamming the false results with tears in her eyes and requesting anonymity out of fear. Protests also erupted in areas of Caracas that are traditionally supportive of Maduro and back his famed socialist predecessor, the late Hugo Chavez. "Where are the 5 million people celebrating Maduro?" a young man yelled from his apartment window. Angelica Daron, age 46, told Agents France Press she had worked as an election monitor for the opposition and that, in her view, Gonzalez Urrutia had won by a landslide. "They stole the election," she said, crying on the sidewalk. Maduro has been in power since 2013 and is now set to rule until at least 2031. And the economic woes in the once wealthy country have pushed more than 7 million of its 30 million citizens to immigrate. Now little is holding back those who have remained. Even though I love my country, I know that the only way out is to leave, said 34-year-old nurse Veruska Donando. Tyranny always wins and cheating always wins. Marina Perez, a 21-year-old shop assistant, said the result had killed the dreams of many young people who were hopeful, who want to get ahead. While many expressed a fear of protesting openly, Jenny Gill, age 56, was bashing her cooking pot in the middle of a secret in Cantalaria in the heart of the capital. And Mundo won. I was present at the voting station at the Andres Eloy School, and we counted vote by vote, and he won. I have evidence that he won, she told agents French press. Not far from where Gill was protesting, a group of youngsters climbed a street light to tear down one of the hundreds of posters bearing Maduro's face that lined the streets of Caracas. When I heard the results, I started crying, indignant, and I said, tomorrow I will go out because this cannot continue like this. Enough is enough, said Jean Carabado, age 49, who said she was protesting for a better future for her 2 children and grandson. They robbed us, shouted a motorcyclist driving past the small protest, while others hung their horns in support. And now for showbiz entertainment news, as Heart Evangelista shared that her husband, Senator Chis Escudero, had a recent health scare, but assured that he's doing good now, as she also affirmed that her main priority right now as a wife is overseeing that everything is perfect. Sitting down on Fast Talk with Boy and Buddha on Monday, July 29, Evangelista reacted to the news that recently circulated that Escudero had a health concern and was rushed into the hospital. He's very good. He's super good now, assured the actress. He had an episode. It was a scary episode, but it was a wake-up call for all of us to really make sure health is wealth. Evangelista irritated that she could not take it if something bad happened to her husband. Everything's perfect. And I make sure not perfect, because if he goes, I go. You jump, I jump, swear. I would like to go first. I could not take it. I feel like crying again, expressed the fashion icon. Because it's a cruel world. It's a mean world. Without Chis, I don't know how I will survive because he's my everything. Of course, God is my everything, but I would like to go first, added the actress. The Capulso actress stressed that despite wearing many hats, including being a fashion influencer and the new Senate Esposa's president, her main priority is being a wife, saying, these days I am a wife. I have matured and I know my priorities. Meanwhile, Evangelista recently spearheaded the packing and distribution of relief goods in a school in Marikina for Filipino families affected by the onslaught of Typhoon Karina and the enhancer West Monsoon or Habagat. The global fashion influencer also recently renewed her contract with Sparkle Artist Center under her home network GMA. And veteran actress Eva Darren turned emotional as she recalled the events attending the FAMAS fiasco last May that left her heartbroken and embarrassed. In a recent interview with host and entertainment writer Aster Amoyo, Darren gave an update on how she has been doing since the controversial FAMAS incident, where she was supposed to present an award but got replaced by somebody else at the last minute. Darren recalled that she was sitting in front of the stage together with fellow actress Marisa Delgado and Divina Valencia and her 3 grandchildren, and the fellow directors walked past her multiple times before they went on to call Teresa Cruz III on stage, with whom he was supposed to present an award with. Cruz then proceeded on stage but with singer Sheena Palan instead of Darren. The seasoned actress said that she asked her companions to go home and decided not to finish the ceremony because she felt utterly embarrassed. Darren underscored that she got overwhelmed with the people's reactions after her son's Facebook post went viral, as she saw the comments of the public sympathizing with what happened. Hindi ko akalin, hindi ko alam. Grabe, ganun pala ang social media. And that is it for koolNews at 4. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with our headlines later with koolNews at 6 and koolNews Prime Time at 9. Until then, I am Carl. Good afternoon.